This aeration explainer is for aquaculture and waterbody professionals. It shows how a blower, air delivery network, diffusers, and dissolved oxygen monitoring fit together. It is not a universal sizing rule, ecological restoration claim, or validated pond case. First, define the waterbody and operating objective. Emergency oxygen refuge, routine aquaculture oxygen management, continuous circulation or destratification, ornamental ponds, large lakes, and wastewater lagoons are different duties. One package and schedule cannot serve them all. Build the demand basis before selecting equipment. Consider aquatic species and biomass, stocking and feeding, microbial and sediment respiration, algae and organic inputs, water temperature, salinity, altitude, daily cycle, seasonal cycle, and failure cases. Pond area alone is not a demand calculation. Select the blower at the pressure flow operating point, not by free air volume or motor power alone. Static water depth, diffuser opening resistance, tubing and manifold friction, valves, elevation, air density, and fouling allowance form the system resistance curve. Trace the complete air path. Filtered intake air enters a correctly ventilated blower, passes through protected piping and a balanced manifold, and reaches diffusers at defined depths and flows. Backflow, condensation, weather, flood level, freeze risk, and safe service access belong in the design. Distribution determines whether every diffuser receives its intended air. Pipe diameter and length, branch resistance, valve position, diffuser type, opening pressure, fouling, and depth differences can unbalance the network. A large bubble plume at one branch can hide poor delivery elsewhere. Visible bubbles prove gas release, not oxygen transferred through the full water body. Performance evidence needs calibrated dissolved oxygen trends, controlled locations, depths and times, water temperature and quality context, blower pressure and flow, diffuser configuration, and a defined comparison method. Dissolved oxygen is local and dynamic. Map readings through depth, across representative locations, and across the daily cycle, including the expected worst period. A daytime surface reading beside a diffuser is not whole pond acceptance evidence, and no single universal target is offered here. Treat stratification as a commissioning hazard. Rapidly mixing oxygen-poor bottom water into the upper layer can depress oxygen available to aquatic life. A qualified professional should define a site-specific staged startup, monitoring points, stop criteria, response actions, and backup aeration. Reliability and wet location protection are part of biological risk control. Assess alarms, backup power or aeration, operator response, intake blockage, overheating, diffuser fouling, broken tubing, flood and rain exposure, protected electrical equipment, cable routing, anchors, and public or wildlife hazards. Aeration supports defined oxygen or mixing objectives. It does not guarantee fish survival or remove nutrients, algae toxins, pathogens, odor, or turbidity. Suspected harmful bloom water requires testing and local direction. Crews should not enter, ingest, spray, or aerosolize unknown bloom water. Release the system only with a traceable record, water body identity and objective, baseline profiles, demand basis, blower curve, system resistance calculation, diffuser layout and balance, monitored startup, electrical review, alarms and backup, maintenance plan, owner permission, permits, and measured results. More bubbles is not the acceptance criterion.